record.
You're up, Commissioner.
All right, we're talking about parcel that ends in 2607. Any comments from the assessor's table on that one?
There are a couple other cells. One comes in time adjusted at about 166.3, but they're both on just regular size lots. So the land would be, if we had time to calculate what the land extraction from that other cell or whatever, and then maybe add in what his land is at, it would probably take me a minute, but I can look at that. Just trying to find it on.
I thought I had something. I started looking at this again and go, I don't know, because it's all that land across the street. So this is the other, all this back here is the land that goes with it, all this stuff surrounding it. That's what makes this one
So
so
it's in
hard.
two parcels.
Yeah, well, it goes here and then cuts down and goes out around this.
So this is the 207.
Yeah, here.
And then over there.
And here is the other part of that 207, so you get the visual on it.
Okay.
So here's that little house,
Okay.
and then here's that other land that we're talking about. So if we go back here, there's that little pole shed, pole barn with the little shack, and then here's the rest of the land that goes with it.
Okay. Anything?
Okay, sorry.
No, thanks for coming.
We're talking about parcel, the,
Do I need to be sworn in?
yes.
You solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Okay, so Edwin Mann.
Edwin Mann. And the first one we was talking about, the parcel that ends in 2607.
That's the one with this house on it, right?
Well, it's got,
the-
It's got a house on
A
it.
house on it.
And then
They
it's-
both have houses.
And it's got the,
A large amount of acres.
24 acres. The total acreage is like 29.
Which the majority of the value is in the acreage.
On this, I know the land, it's in the city, but it was priced at rural pricing.
so if it's in the city,
It would have
then
been,
the building lots are what size?
for most building lots? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, to divide up that 29 acres into building lots, how many building lots would he have since it's in
Oh,
the
I
city?
see. Oh, I forgot.
I mean, to me, that's what makes the value.
Right, okay.
If it's not, or if it's not grazed or something of that nature, then there's nothing we can do there, in my
That
opinion.
would make 58 lots. But
58.
it would depend on
The
that
size.
0.5 acre lots, or 29 acres. It depends on how much of it's buildable.
Most of it.
Most of the land looks like it was. It was one of those large acres. I have 20 sales, or 20 properties here for in-city properties where the acreage was over 2 acres or 10 acres, or
Well,
some of the larger
here's-
lots, just to get an idea.
Here's an example. The smaller house, the other parcel on 603 at .54 of an acre, its land is valued at 80,000. So if you go forward, if you're like 40 big
You're fired.
lots, at 80,000, we're well within where it should be.
I'll just tell you, the thing that bothered me the most on this one was the pictures.
Yeah, did you need better pictures?
Well,
No, of the comparables.
the comparables.
Oh, on the comparables, I haven't looked at that. I got you.
That's a big issue.
That needs to be improved.
Yeah, there was a couple others that probably would have.
I mean, they're not comparables. It's just plain and simple.
I found one on Lawton and then one on,
So,
I shouldn't say.
You're right, those are not at all.
I found one on Lawton and one on Bell that would have been,
I'd almost take the home value back to last year's value and leave the lots the same.
Okay.
That's what I feel. So on parcel RPCPP 112607, that we leave the land value as the assessor has requested, but we take the residents or the improvements back to last year's value. Then we have parcel ending in 2603.
Do you want to vote on that before we move?
Oh, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have parcel ending in 2603.
back to 69,470.
The only thing on this one that I would say is the land value. It's like we were talking about yesterday. Does this land value, half an acre, compare to the lots up around the temple and up there that are selling for relatively the same price? A little smaller, they're not a half acre, so I guess we're okay there. And I don't see any comparables. Do you have comparables in your packet?
Okay.
A little bit better.
Reservation Road. I mean, yes and no. I mean, locations.
The reservation road's probably the closer of the two.
115, 144, 142. I mean, kind of out of line in my opinion there.
Yeah. Do you want to give them their 3 minutes or time? Do you have any thoughts on 603?
Owner's Ferry.
On this, I do not, other than on the comparables, the being in some bad locations is something we are aware of, and so that we did start making changes on packets. We just won't see that until, because these had already been turned in probably until next week. But we are aware that's something we need to correct on.
Okay.
Comparables that are closer in geographic, if we can find them. We do try to find them if we can close. Sometimes they get a little harder, and but we are aware that's something we need to correct. On the property itself, when going over, I did not see any corrections on the improvement that were necessary. This land value is also in as a rural land value.
Okay. My only question would be the price per square foot on your comparables. I mean, this individual is the highest.
It's one of the higher ones, so it would.
So
That one, yeah, he is a bit high there.
we always try to go somewhere in the middle there, generally, it seems like, so. What would the value be at 131?
What's our square footage? So 1650 total. That comes up to 216,150 plus the land value of 80,183. 296,333. Good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Chair, on parcel See, we're doing 03, right? Yeah. On parcel RPCPP 112603, I make a motion that we adjust the value to $296,333 with the adjustment coming off of the improvement, not the land.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 That one took longer than it needed to.
Yeah. Lisa, maybe?
Lisa Mabe or Mabe, okay. This is one where I think, when I was looking at the packet, it looked like her biggest problem was the homeowner's exemption. So we wanted to, haven't had a chance to call her, but I did want to call and explain that to her. But I didn't see any problems with the property itself, but I did want a chance to explain how that works.
Okay. Yeah, the values, they don't look too bad.
RPIN 200, 3,900.
No,
She does have the correct homeowners, he just was thinking that it should be 50%.
Yeah.
I don't think she understood the cap of 125
Oh,
is all, according to her thing. So I'll just call and explain it to her, because she does have.
if you don't have to train it for me,
Okay, I can do that.
I'll train it for me,
Okay,
because you don't have to.
I'll note that too.
We're good.
So we'll have someone call her as well, and try to explain that.
Okay.
Take it as is.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPIN 2003900, I make a motion that we uphold the assessed value.
A motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Laura Foist. This one looked like a pretty easy one to me. That's what the house was purchased for.
January 2023. Yep. I would concur.
Let's see. What was their price?
The only question I would say is, was this an arm's length transaction, which,
All the documents look
yeah,
official.
yeah, 275, is that what they're asking for?
It also, you guys probably already saw that, but it also has an appraisal with it as well.
Yeah.
Assessor.
But they have an appraisal at 275. Did I miss that? Contract price 265, that's January 18. But it appraised for 275.
So,
So we're $10,000 different.
well, here's the 317. So I'd say 275 is what was appraised at.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPCP P018100, I make a motion that we change the assessed value to the value of $275,000.
Per the appraisal.
Yeah, per the attached appraisal.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Pick an easy one.
Smith?
Michael?
Yep. For PMI, dedication value of the property was $399. This one has another appraisal.
It does. But it's a, so it was a,
That's
so
a
it was a
price.
finance, I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah.
PMI one. We also did find that there were some corrections that needed to be made there, but it's different from the appraisal. So we are making corrections to that.
that appraisal done? Did you notice?
Date April 5th.
Of
That's their letter. Appraisal date.
22, okay. 399.9, so 400.
Yeah. So let's change it to 400. So, Mr. Chair, on parcel RPRCHLE001301, I make a motion that we change the value to 400,000 per the attached documentation.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, we're back.
I like round numbers.
We'll go to the 11 o'clock session now. Sharon?
My husband can come too.
Yeah, yeah. Do we have Landon here? Steve? Okay. No Jennifer, and no Robert. All right, go ahead and just stay standing. We're going to swear you in. Everybody's going to participate in a hearing during 11 o'clock. We'll swear in at this time.
Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
So what the reason we are here, under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We're here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63 of Idaho Code relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We're here to discuss the market value of property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to this topic. This is fact and not opinion. We are not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. The hearing will go as follows. The property owner will have 3 minutes, and then if there's questions, we'll answer them from the assessor. Then the assessor will have 3 minutes, and if you have questions about what they talk about, we'll talk about them. We'll have a conversation as the board. The rules are to be kind, direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct is out of line, you will be warned. If your conduct continues to be out of line, you will be asked to leave or escorted out by the marshals.
Scary guy back here. The really scary guy.
So, go ahead and announce your names on the mic so they're on the record, and then your 3 minutes will begin. But just for your information, the white light is the beginning here. When the yellow light comes on, you have 1 minute left. The red light goes on, your time's up.
My name is Sharon Proxwell, and this is my husband, John. We have we had a bunch of papers that we gave you. You should have in front of
The
you.
appraisal.
Okay. Our person who was going to speak for us, her father passed away the 29th, so she's not able to. But she gave us a cover letter as to why she thought that the property should be decreased in value. If you have that before you, rather than me read it, which you could read yourself.
You'll need to read it. We can't accept any more.
Okay. It's from the Silver Creek Realtor Company, it's for Elaine Bailey. It says, "To whom may it concern? I have looked at the property, at the subject property, and would like to present the following evidence. The comps are of like kind, sold in the last year, in the same subdivision, built all in the same year. I did make some additional adjustments for square foot, bathrooms, garage, and carport. After considering this information, my suggested sale price would be $208,000 to $215,000. I also included MLS sale report. In 2021, the market had an increase of 26.23% overall. If you blanket adjust this property from your office appraisal value of 2020, you will only see an increase of $48,452. This brings the new total appraised value to $233,172. This is still lower than the appraised value for this year you provided. As area might be the most important factor in home value, I do not feel this is the best method, but still an improvement. I am not an appraiser, but am confident in this appeal based on my research. I apologize for not being here in person to answer your questions. I lost my father on 6/29 and had family to attend to. Thank you for your consideration, Elaine Proxel Bailey." License number, do you need that in that too? No. Okay. Include appeal form, country rules of hearing, assessment, comparison report, listing data, MLS report, my license information, property corrected appraisal report from 2020. And in summary, I would like to say, I would like to believe you will receive our appeal based on the enclosed facts researched by our realtor, which are sales from similar properties, last year's appraisal, sales dated from the marketplace, and the written analysis from Elaine, our realtor. And I want to comment, in 2018, our home was worth $105,966. 4 years later, it has increased in value $143,113, a total of $243,402.
Thank you. Questions?
Were those sales last year's sales, or are they more current that she's referring to? We didn't get a copy of those. Those were just added, so I don't know.
I gave them 5 copies. You don't have them?
I didn't see it submitted in here. Was it submitted in here? I didn't see it in the packet that was originally submitted. I didn't
I
see
don't have
any
it in the
sales.
packet.
Yeah, I have 5 copies.
I have.
If I
It's
might
not
say,
on.
They didn't.
It's
we didn't get
2021
those.
is
Sorry.
fine.
Okay.
all of them are.
I don't see them scanned in, so.
But you should have the copies.
Okay.
Oh, are they all last year's sales? I don't know.
Yeah.
$224, 9/6, all of 21.
Okay. Just checking. Like I said, I wasn't able to look at those.
Yep, all of 21. All right.
I'm unable to comment on those sales, but our appraiser, Dana Harris, did go out last year to re-inspect and make sure that everything was accurate on the property, and did bring it down a little bit last year, but then with the sales from June to January 1, it did increase in value again. So we were showing some sales of our own. Like I said, the subject property is at 1059 Delano. Is it Delano or Delano? Above grade square feet is 859, below grade 859 with 429 finished. Comparable one, built, the subject was built in 1957. Comparable number one is 1955, 964 square feet, 964 in the basement with 482, so relatively close in square feet. The subject's coming in at $143 per square foot. Comp one is $156 per square foot. Moving on to comparable number 2, it's at $388 McCormick. In the general vicinity, a little bit down the hill, and 1 story. Similar year built, 1961, 988 square feet up, 988 in the basement, 494. So they all have similar square feet finished. That one comes in at 161 per square feet. The one at 703 West Cedar, it's a little bit older build, has a little bit more basement finish. It comes in at $127 per square feet, which brackets them just under the average of those 3 cells. At the 148 or 143, the average would be about 148. I think the increase was just due to the market sales that we had for closely related square feet. And I would just ask that you uphold the value of $243,402.
Any comments about what she just said?
Is she actually looking at what I gave you guys? Because what she's saying is entirely different than what the realtor looked at.
But that-
Unfortunately,
it's a-
I
it's-
didn't get that information.
It's her comps, not your comps, that she was comparing them to.
But why did you ask me to have the realtor look at them then? Wasn't that kind of a waste of my time?
No, I have your information.
But she doesn't, and she's giving.
She has different information than you do. And now this board will make a decision
Okay,
using your information plus what she just said.
okay,
Okay?
that's fine. Marta, could I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
When they went out last year and evaluated my house, they had down that we had a covered patio in the back, which we did not. And they had that we had a finished shed, which we did not. And that's why it was cut back 8,000 something. It wasn't for any other reason but the fact that they had the wrong stuff on it. It wasn't because it was overpriced, other than because of that.
All right, thank you.
If I just do a time adjustment on the appraisal that they had, or on the reassessed value, that puts us at 206,886, if I just do a time adjustment. You have a little different number there.
What I have is, I was just looking at the price per square foot. 143, and the low is 127. The others are 161, 156. If I go at 130, as a price per square foot, I come out with 217, 264.
Okay. Well,
Different methodology.
using the information on Zillow and Realtor would support what the assessor was saying. So I think in all reality, we're somewhere between where I'm at and where you're at. So, paper, rock, scissors. I like that number, using the square footage. I think that's probably fair.
All right, so on parcel RPRPBRC 000100, that we adjust the assessment value to $217,264.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, just a minute. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we did adjust it down.
Thank you.
You have the ability to appeal this to the state
Not
or
necessary.
to the courts, and as well as the assessor's table. But other than that, I would consider your hearing closed.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, Webb? Go ahead and announce your name and your address, and then your time will begin.
Great, thank you. Well, good morning. My name is Landon Webb. Our physical property address is 38 Edmo Extension Number 2, Pocatello, Idaho, 83202. Time begins.
Your time begins.
Most of what I provided, I think, is covered in my original letter, and apologies for including taxable information in that as well. Was not aware exactly how in-depth you went at these particular meetings. Some of the information that I think is helpful in my appeal are a couple of things. One, being a rural property and also being located in the reservation area on deeded property. It is difficult to find sold values from a time period that are near that. However, in some of the recent sales that are being occurred and available on the market, you can see that there are some differing values according to the cover letter that I provided. One particular issue is I don't know if my property is described adequately or properly as far as the house is concerned, because it is not finished basement, and therefore a portion of that assessed value could possibly be ascribed to the fact that it is not a finished basement. The upper level is, of course, completely finished, however, only partial finishing in the basement. So based on the full value of the finished area and what an assessor or appraiser might decide is my argument for possibly reducing that overall assessed value. In addition to some of the information that had been provided on how property values have fluctuated and either adjusted upward in our local market. That's obviously something that we've seen recently, perhaps not to the degree that we saw in our current values. So that is all the information I was able to gather in a short time. I'm apologizing that I don't have further information or an actual appraisal that I can provide. And again, some of the comparables in our area tend to be a little bit harder to come by.
All right, thank you. Comments?
We do not show a fully finished basement, just to clarify that. We have 445 square feet finished.
Okay, your 3 minutes begin.
We do show the subject property at 38 Edmo Extension. One story, 2009 build. We have $14.90 on the main per square feet, $14.84 in the basement with 445 of that finished. It's coming in roughly at about almost $171 per square foot. He is accurate. There were very few sales in Fort Hall area, especially for the year built. Most of them are older, so we had to go a little bit further into Chubbuck area. We did find one that was a 2010 build on Hershey Loop. Has a little bit less square feet at 1267 on the main, 1256 in the basement, around 600 finished in that basement. It's coming in at $172 per square feet. The second comparable is at 4693 Independence. It's a 2006 build, 1273 square feet on the main, 1213 in the basement, and 1310 of that is finished for a price per square foot of almost 191. Comparable number 3 is a 2014, which is a little bit newer. It's at 1891 Kinghorn. It has 1379 on the main, 1379 in the basement with 0 basement finish. It comes in a lot higher price per square foot at $297. All 3 comparables have a lot smaller lot size as they are further into Chubbuck. But their price for those lots are also higher due to that fact that they are in the city. So I would just, and looking at the sale prices and the adjusted sale price of those, I would just ask the commission to uphold the value of $382,889. Thank you.
Comments back to what you just said.
Sure, yes. I think one thing that can be pointed to is the significant value range per square foot in a lot of those properties. And again, that is a difficult assessment to make in an area that's more rural, that has a lot more, a lot less, perhaps city amenities and such that apply to it. We do have a municipal water, but it is private sewer and septic. So those rural values tend to drop a little bit lower. I know you can't go currently, and it's a little tough to pull exactly what happened around a specific time period, but I would think the price per square foot could be a little bit too high for an area that ours is. I could see if it was dropped in the middle of Chubbuck or some of these growing areas with a lot nicer amenities and such around them, you could have those higher values. I definitely think it would be a little bit more challenging to obtain that in an area that we're in. One other thing to throw out there that I don't know if most are aware of is that in an attempt to sell a property in the reservation boundary while deeded, you do have to go through Fort Hall to get first right of refusal. So that is definitely a barrier that can hinder your ability to sell if you were to bring it to market.
Okay. Comments on price per square foot?
It's pretty much lower than the other two, but I would just add that, there's not as many newer homes out on the reservation, but we have seen quite a few selling out there. They just are older builds, so.
But this is in the upper level of everything that we've seen during BOE. Commissioner Huff?
I agree that price per square foot's a little bit on the high end for everything that we have been seeing. So I would tend to side with the appellant on that argument, especially out in Fort Hall on a private water and septic system. Also noting the difficulties in selling out there, I believe that is an issue as well. So I would be willing to consider his price per square footage request. And he vacillated, if I remember reading it, between $142 and $152 a square foot.
My one question I would have is the actual square footage that's based on. I don't know if we're talking just the finished upper and
We're talking-
assessed finished lower.
There's 1490 up and 445 down.
Okay, yeah, perfect, thank you.
How much was the down?
445.
I would,
50, 336, 261,
what did you go at?
150.
Oh, I got a different number then, so let me check my math. 1490 up plus 445,
445.
1936 is what I have for square footage.
Oh, I took it times 150. I took that times 150.
Right.
Okay.
I went times 152 and I came up with 294. So whose calculator is right?
I come up with 290,00,400.
So what you got?
We got three different numbers floating around.
What did you take at time?
Could I petition for the lower?
Did the 1936 times 150,
150? And you come up with
290,400.
plus land?
No, that's.
Oh, no, that's,
No, then I added the
Yeah,
land
then
into it.
add the
That's
land
why
into
my
it.
number was different from,
oh,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
then you'd
sense.
add in the 46.
so I was just looking at the total. So,
Yeah, so that would be 336, 4, right? I didn't add in the $61, I just went 46,000, but it would be 461 or whatever, 336, 461, is that what you guys came up with?
yeah, I was right there somewhere. I
336,
336
461.
something.
That makes sense. I forgot to add in the land where I was at.
So,
So, when did you buy the home, sir?
It was built in 2009, completed.
Are you the original owner?
Correct.
or Have you done any upgrades or anything to it since you bought it?
No, sir.
And that's where I'll go back here. In 2018, 2019, there was no adjustment. 29.5 for the land and 171,769 for a total of 201,269. And we kind of held flat there in fact, in 2020, it was 205,969. So your values haven't increased in the last,
Sure.
so that's why you get a bigger jump at this time, because they
Understandable.
caught up with you, and that's what the values are at this time. So
Understandable.
on that end of it, I mean, you only have 1 year of catching up to everybody else.
If you do the 142, it's 320 or 336. So why don't we say 325, 400, call it good. What do you think? Okay.
Thank you, motion.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPR 380-301-0215, I make a motion that we adjust the value to $325,400 with the reduction coming off the improvements, not the land.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we've made an adjustment.
Appreciate
You
it.
have the ability to appeal, and they have the ability to appeal.
Will I get a copy of the updated appraisal? It will be sent out?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you all for your time.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you. All right, Steve?
Stephen Reedy, right?
Yes, yes.
Just want to make sure you're
Stephen
pulling up
Reedy,
the right one.
yes.
Okay, go ahead and announce yourself on the mic,
Okay.
and then your 3 minutes will begin.
I am Stephen Reedy, have the parcel at 3640 Stockman Road in Pocatello, Idaho. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm not exactly sure how to go about this.
Just
or
tell us
anything,
your
so,
story, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so, I mean, since I submitted my appeal form, I spoke with a local appraiser that actually works in my office building, and he's the one who came up with this sheet with the average homes and everything, and but one thing I had a question on first is on my appraisal notice. It says change patio to an EMP, and I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, I just.
They'll answer that when you get there, okay?
It's hard to find homes in the area, that are really comparable and everything, but the home was built in '78, 988 square feet, and in looking at everything that I was provided and what I've seen happen in the area and everything, I just don't see any way that I could possibly get almost $340,000 out of my home. It needs a lot of repair. As the appraiser that I know said, don't mean to run down your house, but those homes built in that area weren't the absolute greatest builds and everything. I have a subsidized apartment complex, right out the front of my view. Just down the road is a trailer house where, law enforcement is very frequently there. So, I mean, I just don't see any way that I could get almost $340,000 out of my home in the state it's in. It needs a lot of repair inside. The carpet's 24 years old and needs to be replaced. The kitchen is just absolutely falling apart. I think that's what the appraiser was talking about a lot. But I mean, I'm thinking honestly, after I saw the stuff he provided me, I have to kind of change my tune, that what I wrote down might be a little unreasonable. But looking at the medians, I mean, I don't see how about 270 to 280 would be a much more reasonable area to be. And I mean, I hate to kind of throw her in here, but I looked at my mother's assessment. She has like a 1,600 square foot home on an acre of property with water rights and everything. And hers came in lower than mine. I just don't understand how that can be. So I'm just perplexed by this assessment, and I was hoping I would get somebody from the assessor's office to possibly talk to me and do a walkthrough or something so we could discuss it.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to answer his question?
Yeah, it just means that we took the open patio and it looks as though it was enclosed, so we made it an enclosed porch.
Oh,
But
okay.
we definitely can go out and check the condition, if that is warranted. We just must not have had enough time to give him a call and work on this one before having to have it submitted.
Okay,
So,
your 3 minutes begin.
as the appellant stated, the home is at 3640 Stockman Road. We're just under a quarter-acre lot, 1 story, 1978 build, 988 square feet on the main, 988 in the basement. 939 of that we show as finished. Comes in at $137 per square foot. Comparable number 1 is at 1590 Kinghorn. It's a 1977 build, 936 square feet on the main, 936 in the basement, 889 finished. Comes in at roughly 140 per square foot. Comparable number 2 is at 1618 Garnet Drive. Again, similar size lot, 1-story home, 1978 build, same as the subject. This one has a little bit more square feet, 1,040 on the main, 1,040 in the basement with 800 finished. Comes in at 131 price per square foot. Comparable number 3 is 656 Canyon Drive. A little bit larger lot. Has 864 square feet on the main, 1,098 in the basement with 864 finished, as it has a basement garage. So it makes the basement look a little bit larger, but that's just accounting for like the garage area. It comes in at $146 price per square foot. It looks as though we had to go out a little bit further to find comparables in that size of a home, because most would probably be larger. But as far as the price per square foot, it looks like he's right in there with the comparables at the $338,285 assessment. This was just recently sketched, so that may have also, and it was just sketched last year.
Okay, comments about what she said?
She's talking areas a lot different than where I am.
Okay.
So I guess that's my biggest, I honestly, where I am, I cannot see that I could get approximately 340,000. There's a single level home next to me, right next door to me, that same size lot and everything, but single level, but yeah, it sold for 200 just last year. And I don't think there's anything else right in that area that has sold that recently.
All right,
So.
thank you. Anita?
Well, because of what he said about his kitchen and stuff like that, we can table this for a minute and go do a walkthrough and a re-inspect, if that would be okay, so we can look at it and see if we can come to a conclusion that way.
On condition.
I don't think that that's a problem.
Yeah.
Clerk's office, assessor's office.
I'm kind of in that 280 to 290 range is what I'm coming up with.
I was looking at 275. Actually, we received nothing from your office on this one in our packet.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay, and I'm fine.
so
with
it's
that.
stuff for us.
Submitted it.
I mean, we're just listening to what you said.
Mhm.
I'm coming up with 275. Commissioner Huff's coming up with
I'm in that 280 range, so
280.
I'm between 280 and 290.
So if we go at 280,
Okay.
And we can always go do a re-inspect.
and then go and look, and we'll be ready for next year. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
so on parcel RPRPSTN 0000400, I make a motion that we adjust the improvements, and the totals will be 280,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we made an adjustment.
Okay.
We've come down. Like I
I
said,
appreciate
both parties have the ability to appeal this.
I think that's reasonable, and still, before next year's, if we
We'll-
can, I can show you.
We'll make a note and have somebody come out.
Yeah,
Okay.
we definitely can do that.
Thank
We
you.
just
Yeah,
didn't, we
I-
weren't
I
aware of the
know- I know-
condition, yeah.
I know you
so,
guys were
yeah.
Yeah, we're trying.
shotgun, yeah, from every direction.
And you were one of the first ones that we had to prepare, so it was like, you had to go.
Okay.
So we didn't have a lot of time to
I
work
can live with
again. I
that.
apologize.
So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jim.
yes.
Yeah, Thank you.
I think we have your number on our call list. Did you call in ahead of time? It's at least on your.
Yes, yes,
It's on your
it's on my
paperwork that you
form, yeah,
submitted, so
yeah.
we'll give you a call, or you can give
Okay.
us a call when it's good for you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
just give us a
Where are
couple
we at
weeks
with
and
those
we can come
admins?
out.
What's going on?
Jennifer Neeser.
All right,
Have her-
thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, the next one I have that didn't show was Jennifer Neeser.
Okay.
This is another one that I don't have anything from
Really?
your office.
Friday was the day that we had the mix-up between our offices. It was corrected and made a great job. It was one of those where there was 22 names added after the deadline. We did go ahead and do them and submit them, but that's why they were submitted later. Just FYI.
Okay, yeah. And the only thing
It's
I
been
have
corrected, though.
from her, similar properties are selling for less. For instance, 3339 Crescent, 3-bedroom one for $275,000, Pole Line Road. It's on the front sheet of hers. So if you have something that you want to share with us.
Okay. We have hers coming in at 194 per square foot because it's a 2016 build. Most of our comparables are well above that. Comparable one was a 06 build. It comes in at 203 per square foot. And we did have one that's a 04 build that comes in at 184, and a little bit, a newer one that comes in at 206 per square foot. We just have a note here saying that the home is equitable. The difference in sizes, it looks like she has a little bit less square feet than the comparables. Most of the comparables are at 1,700 around there, and her home is at 1,246. And that she's coming in at 331,987. They were sold properties at, without time adjustments, at 479, 512, and 597.9. But with time adjustments, they were over the 500 mark on all of them. And the last one was at 600. So I mean, it looks like she's right where she needs to be according to those sales at the 331,987.
I would tend to uphold the assessor's value on this one.
She's within the percentages that everybody else did.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPRPHND 002300, I make a motion that we uphold the assessed value.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Then Robert Angel was moved to admin, is what I have here.
Okay.
So that's it for me. 11 o'clock.
Okay, go ahead and knock out. At 11 o'clock, we have the judge being sworn in, so
At 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, is that what time it is?
I have no idea.
Or, on here you have it as 2. Well, we have it as 2. I'm not-
What's that?
I'm seeing 2 o'clock, but is it earlier than that? 'Cause if not, you missed it. If it's at 11, you missed it.
It says 2 PM, judge call, and this,
2 o'clock.
that's your.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
For an hour?
I saw it somewhere.
See, you're discombobulated too.
Admin.
So maybe you could knock out a couple more admin or something.
Yeah, let's do some. Let's finish off our admins.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Anita.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 1 o'clock, and then we are gone at 2 o'clock up there.
was out.
Yeah.
All right. Asa,
So,
DeBuck,
the buck stops here.
2 properties,
Didn't even bring her up.
701 and
That's why I said
702.
she- Did she cancel? I don't know.
If I can note, these are 2 properties that they have been converted and were just sketched in November of 2021. And so that's why you're seeing the large change in value. Plus the one ending in 701 has been, hasn't changed a lot in the last 5 years.
Okay, this one, 701.
Right. It used to be a dental lab, so it's switched from commercial to
Okay.
residential.
And that's what he says, that it hasn't been looked at. Says it's just a garage now, storage, in his
That's what
letter
it says. Right.
that is here. So I mean, if it's not a dental lab and I mean,
Right.
why are we assessing it the same? Is my question.
It's currently being assessed as a residential building, but we haven't checked to see what it is being currently used as now.
And this is another one that they got to look at what they're putting on these papers. Because if you look at the 702, it's got the exact same picture. I don't have a picture of the house, the residence. So as I go through these and look at them, it makes it pretty tough for me to come to a conclusion, especially after reading his letter. Well, one's my house, one's actually a garage now instead of a dental lab, and then the restrictions that are on it.
I'm just catching up to you.
Put the exact same picture on both.
This is an interesting property.
Here.
Google map.
Jason did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I looked at it,
So-
it was the asphalt.
It's like a side by side.
Right. So we do some
The
additions.
history. No, it was just, there wasn't additions, it was just, it was on it.
Okay, that is what it wrote on there.
So in the back, in that, it says that there's no no tub, no showers, no nothing, no kitchen,
in the building?
in the building, the one that was the dental lab.
Okay.
That's why I say, last year it had 0 values.
The basement stuff did? It has 0 values? I
The,
see, it does show that it has a kitchen and living room and stuff, okay, so that is,
yeah, the 4701, just looking at this sheet, said it had 0 values last year. And now
That's
it's
why I put that on here.
52.5 and
Yeah.
336 once.
There's the two properties.
it's been at a static converted value for 5 years, it had a value last year.
Okay.
This would be like.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as I look at this
We'll
sheet,
update the room and kitchen and stuff, or, I guess is that one we would go out and inspection?
this is house, and this is, used to be a dental lab.
Right,
Inspection.
right.
So, like, that's what he said, storage back. I don't think it's worth 339,000.
Not in that area.
300. So,
That was just info stuff, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, what was the values last year then?
The total was 187, so the land was 14,400. The property was the improvement was 173,305 for a total of 187,705
We've been that way for years.
since 2017. Yeah. It's one of those big,
That's a better look.
it was converted and remained
So they've
static.
sealed off the garage area.
Yeah.
And then it was picked up last year and sketched, and they had visited it and added the asphalt and stuff like that they were missing, and I think that's why there's an increase. It was
Well, this is,
sketched.
I did put on here that we need to go out and re-inspect it for 2023.
okay. I'm almost go to last year's values until you go out and inspect it. And just looking at the pictures here, I mean, it's not a residence. The garage has been sealed off. I mean, I don't know.
Well, why don't we make some adjustment for the value? We take last year's value of 180, which one are you talking about? 02 or
The one ending in 701.
701?
Yeah. The O2, we can do.
Okay.
I'm just saying the one that's in the back closed off. If you guys are gonna go look at it.
So last year's value is 0 on,
And that's what he just
701.
told me. He just told me that it was actually 1440 on the land and it was 17, so it's 187,705.
so that's last year's value?
It was
187,705 times 1.10. Why don't we set it, just raise it 10% and raise it to 206 until you two, then you have a chance to go out.
okay, and we'll note that.
Because that does represent some increase, which there should be some increase in value.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying, just the way it looks,
Okay.
what do you do with the extra property? I mean,
Okay.
besides,
I'll go with
I
your
don't know.
argument. I'll go with your
And
argument.
the only reason I say that is if we're gonna go up on the other one,
Hungry.
if we're gonna go, if we're gonna look at the house itself and just keep the values that the assessor has, then I think we're compensating on that end.
Okay,
Just the way I look at it.
go ahead.
Okay. Property, RPTAS 004701, that we will revert back to last year's values, which a total of 187,705. On property RPTAS 004702, that we uphold the assessor's value. I have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let's see, so the next one will be Kenneth Covert.
Two parcels.
this is also 2 parcels.
He brings up the open space argument.
It brings up open space and burns.
The Burns, I'm not gonna give him too much benefit on that. What did we talk about on the open space the other day?
The open space should be taxed.
Yeah, but did we decide it should be at a lower value than non-open space property? I can't remember the discussion.
Not really. I mean, we adjusted one guy, and I didn't adjust the other guy. The lot sizes were twice as big, and this one fits in the same boat to me. I mean, the lot size. The one guy had like just an acre, and the other guy had 2, and we left the one guy 120 or 1 something. It was just double what the other guy was. The other guy we moved to 67 or something.
Okay.
So on the property ended in 402. I don't see where he's got any complaint about the land.
You guys have anything on this one?
Just noting information, on the parcel ending in 702 with the detached garage on it, that is one we put in as contiguous to note the value. I mean, it's already, that change in there, but that's why it's down at 11,000 for it. It does have a septic system, and the garage has 1,000 square feet of living space above the garage.
Okay, and this is another one on this paper. Where is this property located?
That doesn't look like the one.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Is that the one for 10th October?
well, it's in the packet.
No, because there should be a picture of a great big log house on it.
Okay,
Is the one that we have?
that's another one. Because this has a house in Chubbuck,
Okay, we need to like these.
and the value is 170 per square foot, and everything else is 150 to 158.
That's not even the same comparable we have.
Okay,
That's the one we've submitted. Do you have the PIN number on the subject property on that?
this one's RPRCHLE001301.
That's the wrong
It's in
parcel.
Chubbuck, is what it says.
Like they attached a Michael Smith to this packet, so.
Yeah, that's the wrong packet altogether.
Okay.
So Michael Smith's packet should be,
Name.
Oh, yep, that's, if I look back there, look at the name on
It
it.
says Michael Smith too.
And we adjusted him already.
Yeah, so my guess is,
Okay.
there's a paperwork down there that
we have an error.
Did you want to look at this one so you have the correct
it's
one?
probably somewhere that's not
Ah.
attached to the right file.
Yeah,
Have you got it up, Jeff?
no, I don't have
I
any
mean-
correct information, other than I just got the parcel viewer here. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, just so it shows the 2 properties that we're actually looking at. Because on that one part, I'm seeing pictures of burnt hillside, and the other one, I'm seeing Chubbuck, and I'm going, this isn't right. Okay, that one's on us.
That is something we've addressed, that we need to be better on those comparables there.
Oh, you better stay with him, huh? Front page. Okay, any comments, questions?
Not yet.
I guess my only question on this one, if you have the packet or whatever, has this guy been into BOE? Because a lot of them guys up there have come.
2019, you went to BOE and BTA.
And what did BTA tell him?
Yeah, it fell down. I think I just saw that.
Yeah.
Was that the,
Yeah.
I had one somewhere that I saw that went to BTA.
The BTA decision affirmed. And that would have been the 2019 value. Well, it looks like 2020, this says.
Yeah, that
BTA
wasn't-
20 decision affirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
On 402, that one I would probably uphold the value. Because I'm looking again,
This was
that realtor and Zillow on both of them down at 900,000.
And I mean, we're not that much. I mean, we've only come up $8,000
Yeah.
here, so I'll hold both of them.
Yeah.
So on parcel RPR 40130499702 and on parcel RPR 40130233402, I make a motion that we uphold the assessor's value on both properties. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next one I have Ray Nestor. And he has an assessment December of 2021 for refinance 353.
Do it.
So on parcel RPRCK1S004500, I make a motion that we adjust to 353,000 per the appraisal that is attached. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next one is Don Davis. And I'd invite you to on these last.
I'm gonna say no. I think we're there. I don't see any reason to change these.
This one's got to be about 32%. Not So 671, 671 with 30%. You good? Make your motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we uphold the value on parcels RP, RPWN 1004600 and RP, RPM 000500.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. J Max Holdings. Mistakenly rezoned from dry graze to rural residential.
Yeah, it's a piece of land up there by the fairgrounds.
Up by Northgate?
That's that property right in front, isn't it?
I think it's on the.
Between the,
west side.
between the freeway and the,
Yeah.
Took it
Yeah.
out of bag.
yeah, that's the,
Is it grazed?
no.
You ever seen anything on there? You ever seen bees or donkeys on it?
And not,
There's no residents on it other than bees and donkeys. If they haven't provided the information and brought it in, then
I just know they were just trying to sell it not too long ago. And they were looking to use it to develop commercially, so. What's the assessed value, 109?
109,433.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPR 385-301-5703, I make a motion that we uphold the assessed value.
You have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Can't treat them any different from the senator. The next one is
Wait a
Sammy.
minute, do we have, yeah, okay, I was just thinking there was more parcels there, sorry.
Whatever.
Go ahead, you're good.
Tadera?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, it is, yes. I was just looking her up.
Mohawk Street. Is this in town or out of town?
Now, both are in town.
Mohawk's out in the Indian Hills area, isn't it?
they're contiguous, right?
They're not, actually.
not.
I was just looking them up, and one's in Johnny Creek, the other one is, they're close though, I believe. Let me double check.
So let's look at the first one. Ends in 700.
Okay.
And
Okay, that's a large bare lot with a shed on it.
1.7 acres in town. 40 or 75,000.
Almost 2 acres, that's,
So on parcel RPCPP100700, I make a motion that we uphold the assessor's value. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. And the other one?
On their second property, I was just reading the notes of the appraiser that visited with the person, and they did make adjustments for the condition.
Okay,
Because apparently there were some poor conditions on the house.
so what was the adjustment?
Sorry, I wasn't seeing a difference, so I was looking to see why there's not. Okay, it's showing as, it was 297.
Mhm.
297,907 is what they said?
Yes.
This is showing 274,657.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPIN 3005900, I make a motion that we accept the appraiser's or assessor's adjusted value of $274,657.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Then we have Desert Sun.
That's commercial, and that would be Jason.
Okay.
Not know he has this?
We have-
He did as of yesterday, he knew he had 3 of them. He just wasn't aware that he had to be here this week.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, because
He
we're
wants to
moving,
talk.
we're moving them to this morning instead of this afternoon. He's probably thinking
Right.
this afternoon.
right.
Well, and these originally were set up for 9 AM,
Oh, these
and they
were-
got moved to
To add,
admin.
Let's look in here and see if he's made any adjustments real quick.
Okay.
These are
They would be
commercial
in here if
properties.
he did.
And then I have
Not,
Robert and Eva Angel.
that's, be surprised if that's not commercial too.
it is, it's in here.
Yeah.
But I'll look it up and see if there are any changes in that.
So this was Board of Appeals, this went to the state, the commercial one, in 2019 at 81,455. So that was frozen for 2 years, so it's coming out of the
22.
frozen.
Yep.
Okay, for that Robert Angel, I don't want to speak to it because I'm not familiar with commercial, but he does have notes in here saying that he did speak with her and they agreed to a value where it was a commercial space converted to a private residence. And the value was changed. If you want me to read that out?
Robert and Eva Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read that.
So it was at $1,040,379.
Okay,
It has been changed to $649,429. The notes say he came to an agreement, but I'm not sure what that agreement was.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess it was that, if he changed it to that.
so those are Jason's notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay changing it to that. You all right with that?
Yeah, it says that he made multiple corrections to record, agreed to value. Yeah, so I'm sure they agreed to that $649,000 value.
Okay. Mr. Chair, on parcel RPR 401-301-6000, I make a motion that we accept the assessor's recommendation of $649,429.
we have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Desert Sun.
You got left.
He does have an adjustment here, but no notes.
On which one?
On
The
Desert
Desert
Sun.
Sun.
Which one? This is the one ending in 45400. He's got,
That's the only one that's got there. Is that one?
oh, I thought I saw two, sorry. Yeah, okay, you're right. And what did you say now? That
Didn't have
one
any notes there.
doesn't have a lot of, he just says it was at 167,749, and he has done his worksheet to down to 139,648, and he doesn't have any notes as to whether, but, yeah.
I think that's reasonable.
That's our records named after our, we feel that our calculation. And Jason has one in here,
Good.
Okay, good.
and the value adjusted to 139, 648.
Yep.
648, I can't read.
Yeah, 648.
Yes, 139, 648.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion on parcel RPRPPOC 045400 that we accept the assessor's recommendation of $139,648.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Is that all the admins everybody has?
That's all on our record.
So we'll come back at